Hi guys, so this is my 33-week pregnancy update. I didn't do a video update last week, but I did do one on my blog. So I'll leave a link for that in the description box below. I honestly cannot remember for the life of me why I didn't do a video update last week. But this week has been incredible. It's been amazing. It's been so easy, and it has been probably the most easy week I've had in a while. So at the start of the week on Monday we went for our last scan. I was 33 weeks and 1 day, and we went in and got called in for blood tests and blood pressure check and everything straight away, which was good. He actually walked us from one room to another in the space of like 5 minutes across like the whole like ward area. And he said to me, he said, "I bet your blood pressure's high now, I've walked you everywhere." And I was like, yeah, probably, because it usually is. But it was perfect. It was totally fine, and that to me was a big thing, because normally if I go and have my blood pressure checked straight away after walking somewhere or arriving somewhere and I'm like out of breath and a bit flustered, my blood pressure is normally a little bit high, and it was absolutely fine. So that is good. He took my bloods and then weighed me, but it was all in kilograms. I don't do anything in kilograms, so I have no idea what their scales said. I don't think I even looked at the number. So we sat back down, and then literally seconds later got called in for the scan. Now, being 33 weeks and having a baby in a very awkward position, we didn't manage to get any pictures. It was just impossible to get any kind of photo of this little guy. He is in the most awkward, squished up yoga position you could possibly imagine. So when the doctor first started scanning, she went straight down to find his head. His head is definitely head down low, and she said, wow, he's really low. Not to the point where he's engaged or anything yet, but he is really down there, to the point where she was having some real issues trying to get the circumference of his head and his head measurements and everything else. He was really giving her some trouble. So she kind of gave up on the head for a little while, went to check everything else. She found his arm and his leg, and then she went over to his belly, and because of the way he was wrapped up, she couldn't even get a proper measurement of his belly either, and he was all sort of scooped up on one side. So she was pushing really hard and trying to get him to move and stuff, and he just wasn't playing ball. So again, she left that and kind of went and did the other things. She checked the amniotic fluid in his cord and checked his heart, although the heart was a difficult measurement to get as well because of the angle he was lying at. But eventually she managed to go back to those difficult spots and get the measurements she needed, which was good. There was, I can't remember whether it was the head or the stomach, but she had to get her colleague to come and do that. I think it was her senior, because he was in such an awkward position. So there was no way we could have gotten any pictures whatsoever. He just wouldn't have allowed that. I couldn't even really figure out anything on the scan. Every so often I would see something which looked a little bit like an arm or a little bit like a leg, but I really couldn't even figure out what they were looking at unless they were telling me. So results of the scan are, he is weighing roughly 4 pounds 14 ounces already, so he's still in the average range, which is good, but I have a funny feeling he's going to be a big baby if he keeps growing a lot. And the circumference of his head, now that when they finally got the measurement, actually says that although he is in the normal range bracket, he's in like the 95th percentile. Like, he is right up high for circumference of his head. So he has a big head. He has long limbs and a smaller torso, so he's going to be like a spindly monkey baby, I think. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, he's perfect. Amniotic fluid is still looking really good, and they were really happy and said that, you know, we don't need to see you again unless obviously you feel the need to come in. We don't need to see you again. So unless the baby stops moving as much or you feel that something is wrong, come in, we'll check you again, there won't be a problem if you need to do that, which is good. It was nice that they said that they wouldn't mind doing that if we just popped in and they needed to sort of do a quick scan to make sure everything was okay. So this week, even though it was confirmed that he's definitely head down and really low, he has also discovered my ribs. First thing in the morning, he's lying really low. I can normally tell how low he is because my stomach is definitely a different shape in the morning than it is at night. And towards the end of the day, after I've eaten and done stuff and moved around, my stomach feels a lot more round and up high. He's definitely sitting in my ribs. He's sitting in my ribs right now as I'm sitting here. It's actually really uncomfortable, but it isn't bothering me too much. I'm definitely feeling aches and pains. My hips hurt the other day. Actually, that was yesterday. My hips hurt really bad and I was struggling to actually sit at my desk. And my ribs and my back are starting to really ache. But it's nothing that, you know, I can't deal with. Yes, it's painful and achy and not very comfortable, but I can literally just go and lie down for 10 minutes and I'll feel a whole lot better. If I lie down and stretch my body out, it kind of just realigns everything and I feel so much better for it. So it's not a big issue, it just isn't very comfortable. The other thing this week is his hiccups are still going strong. He literally has hiccups all the time. I could be sitting or lying in bed or like just sitting at my desk and then all of a sudden hiccups start and I'm like, oh, okay, and they go on for 10 minutes and then he gets really annoyed and he starts jiggling about and then he goes back to sleep, and then give it half an hour to an hour and he'll have hiccups again. So he does have hiccups a lot still. Movement wise, it's very much rolls and turns, and I'm guessing like his back and his knee, and he definitely sticks his bum out in the air all the time. I was lying in bed the other night and I've never seen him move the way he was moving the other night, and I really wish I'd got it on camera, but I totally didn't think to record it. But I said to Liam, I said, wow, he's really moving tonight, like just from what I could feel. Lifted up the covers, turned the light on, and Liam was like, oh my goodness, he really is. And my belly was all over the place. So it's nice to know that he's still moving strong and he's definitely an active baby. He's not a kicker, he's more of a puncher, I think. Now I know where his, you know, where his head is and where his arms are and how he's lying. I can definitely tell that he uses his arms a lot more than he uses his legs, because I definitely feel that kind of movement down below rather than up high and around my ribs. So for me, I've been feeling really good this week. My anxiety has been pretty stable. I haven't had a bad day this week, and that is probably the biggest thumbs up I can give, because it was getting a little bit silly. I was having at least 1 or 2 bad days a week, and I honestly feel a lot better this week, so I'm hoping it stays that way. And I think that that is possibly down to the birth class and the fact that, you know, I felt awful before that, but I felt so much better afterwards and so much more prepared afterwards as well. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling a lot better anxiety wise. I have pretty much, I think, finished packing my hospital bag. There's a few things I need to put in it, but I haven't got them yet because Liam's parents are coming to visit this time next week and they're bringing a lot of stuff with them. His mum has gone baby crazy. She has not been able to help herself. Every other day we get a phone call saying, I'm in mother care, I'm in here, I'm doing this, I'm buying this. And they're literally bringing Christmas, I think. So I think there's a few things in there that I'm going to put in the hospital bag, like nappies. We have actually got all of our nappies now, all of our cloth nappies we have. They're washed, they're ready, they're prepped, they're good to go. But for the first few weeks with the tarpoo and everything else that comes when baby's getting used to being out of the womb, we are going to be using disposables, because obviously the meconium on cloth nappies would not be very fun to clean, and I'd rather just not worry about that for a little while. So we're going to do disposables for a little while, and then when we're in a routine with him and everything and we're used to having him around and everything else, then we'll start introducing the cloth nappies. So obviously when she brings nappies, I'll stick some nappies in the hospital bag. Other than that, the hospital bag is pretty much done, and I can share that with you guys in the next couple of weeks. I think I'm going to do that in 2 weeks time, 35 weeks, I think I've decided to do that. I've written down loads of video ideas and stuff, so I think 35 weeks is my hospital bag video, I think. Weight wise, I've put on about a pound this week, so I'm now sitting at 21 pounds gain from the beginning, and I'm happy at that. I don't mind, you know, from here on in I don't mind gaining a pound a week, which is supposedly like the healthy weight gain roughly, which means hopefully by the time I give birth I'll be sitting at 30, maybe less than 30 pounds gained, which is a good number for me. I think once obviously I've given birth and everything else, you know, baby and placenta and amniotic fluid is gone, that's already going to drop that number down. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm definitely feeling the weight gain though. My fingers are sausage fingers. This ring is a ring that I found the other day that is battered and it's so old and I don't even know where it came from, and it's the only one that fits on my engagement finger, and I haven't been able to wear my engagement ring for months. So I put that on my engagement ring finger because I felt sad that I wasn't wearing it, but it's the only one that fits. My engagement ring gets to just below my knuckle and then it won't go any further. So I'm really looking forward to losing the sausage fingers. My feet and that kind of area, swelling wise, is a strange one. I've actually got one foot that swells and one foot that doesn't. So I kind of look a little bit odd sometimes if I'm wearing like flat shoes, like dolly shoes. And I really do think that's down to the way that I sit as well, because I always sit with my feet crossed, which probably isn't a good thing. So I'm keeping an eye on that because it does seem a bit odd to me, but it's not swelling like crazy swelling. It is literally just I'm pregnant and my feet are swelling up. So apart from that, there really isn't anything else to update you guys on this week. I'm so excited to finally meet him. I'm literally like, I'm just ready now. I just want him here. And Anna and Jonathan from Scone & Jolie's had their baby yesterday, and seeing all the pictures and everything, and I'm like, oh, I just want my little boy now, please, thank you. So 7 more weeks, minimum of 4 more weeks. I cannot believe that he could possibly, if he wanted to come at 37 weeks, he could be here in 4 weeks time, which is crazy. Obviously I would like him to go to 40 weeks, but if he does come any point after 37 weeks, I really don't mind. But it's insane to think that from like 4 weeks onwards he could come at any time. So yes, I'm definitely feeling much more prepared, much happier, and I'm feeling good this week. So I'm going to show you the belly. Luckily, still no new stretch marks, still just the ones on my hips and none on my belly so far, although I am thinking that they're going to come soon, because I say this every week that I think they're going to come soon, and they haven't popped up yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get some at some point, and so far so good, but they're going to appear at some point. So here's the belly for 33 weeks and 5 days. So thank you so much for watching this week's update. Like I said, I will link last week's blog post below along with this week's blog post. I'm going to try and keep on top of it. I'm actually pre-recording some videos to try and get ahead of myself when Scout's born, and the same with blog posts. I'm trying to get some written, so there'll still be content coming and stuff when Scout is born, so I have time to get into a routine with him before getting back into YouTube and blogging. So I will leave those links below. Make sure you subscribe if you are new, hit the like button if you liked this video, and I will see you guys on Sunday for definite, because I've already got a video uploaded. Oh yeah. See you on Sunday, guys. Bye.